Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. It is the O Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, CW. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to hit that bell on YouTube and subscribe to the podcast on any and all platforms. Today, we're talking about the WWE Hall of Fame and what even is that, right? Does anyone know? Can you tell me? I Googled it, and it's not a thing. It is an event for sure, but you get the sense that the WWE Hall of Fame would be a place, like a physical location that you can visit and see the entrance of each year, but no. So what kicked this off was Rey Mysterio was announced to be the first inductee in the class of 2023 of the WWE Hall of Fame. And it's obviously going to tie into his match with his son at Mania. That is, it has to happen at this point. Dominic has fought Santos Escobar in place of Rey Mysterio. Legado del Fantasma fought the Judgment Day last Thursday in place of Rey Mysterio fighting his son. And Dom went after him, and Rey ducked under him. It's the most action he's done to kind of get his son to not hit him. So, I mean, we all see that it's leading to some sort of Mania confrontation, or at least a confrontation at the Hall of Fame. My guess, if I had to fantasy book it, is that his son won't interrupt his speech. That would be a little too inside baseball for the Hall of Fame. I think they'll give Rey his time and let him speak on it. Because look, Rey Mysterio is a legend. That dude has done it all. He's climbed every mountain. For a guy who's so small, in a company that has traditionally honored gigantic giants, the Hulk Hogan's, the Andre the Giants, literally in his name, Batista's, all these gigantic people, The Rock, he's a big guy, all these big giant dudes, behemoths, Brock Lesnar, there you go, that was the one I was trying to think of. Rey Mysterio is a very small, he's the David in a sea of Goliaths, and he's climbed every mountain. He's won titles. Didn't he win the Royal Rumble at some point after coming in at number one? He's done it all. And I don't think there's anyone more deserving than Rey Mysterio. And the funny thing is, in his entire career, for me, I've always thought of him as a WCW guy for some reason. I mean, he came over from the other company and he had a full-on career there, and he brought that cachet to WWE. But then I had to think about it. It's like he's been in WWE for over 20 years, more than 20 years, 30? No, more than 20 years. He's been there for quite some time. And that's where he's done the most work. That's where he's had the most time put in as that character. He's never taken off the mask, which I feel is impeccable. It's amazing. I don't know if he lobbied for that, but given Vince's old love of unmasking people and making them into, more boring versions of themselves, Rey Mysterio kept that mask on. He kept that honor, that tradition alive. I mean, sure, you can find pictures of Rey Mysterio online without the mask. I mean, he's a dude. He takes it off sometimes. But the fact that he never took it off in WWE, or at least they never showed his face, I'm sure it's got ripped off, but he's covered his face up, is impressive. And that alone puts him in the Hall of Fame. He circumvented the system. Anyway, let me stop gushing about Rey Mysterio, because he is awesome and he does deserve it. And back to fantasy booking. I'm sure they'll give him his time at the event, but there'll be at least maybe some backstage something or other that happens with Dominic that puts him over the top, and then he, says, well, I'll see you at WrestleMania this week or something. And it'll be like a night 2 event. They haven't announced it yet. I'm sure they'll announce it post Hall of Fame induction, and then we'll finally get that match. And hopefully that match is great, because I mean, he'll be able to carry his son. I'm sure he's been working with his son on that match, so I'm sure it'll be fantastic. And Dom has been getting much better on the mic, and slowly getting better in the ring. He's still super green, but again, the more matches he gets, the more reps he gets, the better. And who better to have reps with than his legendary father? Honestly, if his father puts him through the paces, he'll be impeccable. Of course, I still think Dom needs to be trained by someone other than his dad, but whatever. Anyway, I've gone too far on the Rey Mysterio trip. So yeah, it got me thinking, like, who's one in the Hall of Fame, and two, what even is the WWE Hall of Fame? I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a thing. It's not a place. I had to look it up, and WWE.com has just under shows, under their shows tab, is the Hall of Fame. So the Hall of Fame is literally just a show. It is not an actual Hall of Fame. And it goes so far as I don't think you can look up the members of the Hall of Fame on WWE.com. If you can, it is buried. I did a cursory look. Yeah, I said it right 3 times. I did a very cursory look, and I couldn't find like list of entrants. You know, they have just articles on, you know, what people, some of the people, the most important people, like I think 2022 was Taker, and he was the big talk of the town, and he kind of overshadowed everybody else who was like Steiner Brothers, Queen Sharmell, and Vader, who went in. But in 21, Molly Holly, I didn't even know Molly Holly was in the Hall of Fame, and I love Molly Holly. Again, they don't really promote it all that much. If you don't watch the actual Hall of Fame event, it's hard to know who's in it, and there's no place to go to check. The internet obviously always wins. So if you just do like list of entrants on Google, you'll get a pro wrestling fandom wiki that will show you who was inducted in what year. And I'll tell you, the entry criteria must be super lax, or they are always kind of reaching for different levels of superstar. Because what year was it? Was it 2020? It was some year. They inducted the Great Khali. Now, I don't know about you, but the Great Khali doesn't strike me as a WWE legend. But then again, the criteria for legend status in WWE is very loose. If you ever wrestled, ever, you are technically a legend in WWE's eyes. You can do, I mean, not again, but WWE 2K23, they've put Tyler Breeze in the game as a legend because he's not under, he doesn't have a wrestling contract with WWE currently, so he's a legend in the game. Tyler Breeze didn't do anything like spectacular on his, his run as maybe Breezango, but even that was kind of like, meh. So he's a legend there. So does that qualify him to be in the Hall of Fame at some point? Maybe. I don't know. But in the pantheon of professional wrestlers that they could induct into the Hall of Fame, like the Great Khali, like I don't know anything that dude has done. Queen Sharmell, sure, she was, a legendary manager, but she didn't wrestle or anything. But, I'll take it. Steiner Brothers, obviously, they deserve it. Vader, you deserve it. Undertaker should have been in the Hall of Fame during his career, which is another thing. Like Rey Mysterio was still an active wrestler, and he's being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And was Edge inducted? See, I don't know who's been put into the Hall of Fame. I don't think Edge is inducted. Shawn Michaels is, Booker T, Stevie Ray. I think they went in as Harlem Heat. X-Pac is in like 3 times. He went in with what is it? I think he went in by himself and as DX. I can't remember. No, I think he just went in as DX. Tori Wilson, come on. Like, sure, they were in the company at some point, but what is the criteria for the Hall of Fame? And then again, my original question, what is the Hall of Fame? Why don't they have like a building that you can visit? Like, why isn't it in Connecticut somewhere near the front office? I need WWE to treat the Hall of Fame a little bit more like an actual Hall of Fame, and at the very least, post the entrants, the people who are actually in your Hall of Fame on your website. Just copy and paste it from the fandom website, and I think that's like a start. And then, because right now the Hall of Fame is just a banner that they put up and a show that they put on. Anyway, what do you think of the WWE Hall of Fame? And hey, who should be the next inductee with Rey Mysterio? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for listening, and always remember,
I'm your friend, but if I ever see you in the ring, I can beat you. Don't you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah.